Are you a player plat or below? Have you ever been told to just get better? Well, this is the video for you because today I'm going to be discussing the top 3 best ways to improve in Valorant. So stick around if that interests you. So as I mentioned in the intro, a lot of the times when you ask just a friend or maybe just someone you think is better than you at the game, they'll tell you, I don't know, just get better, which seems by default helpful, but it's difficult to interpret and put into effect when you don't know how to get better. That's what this video is for. This is for anybody that is trying to work on just overall improvement. If you need specific things improved, that's where it gets a little bit more iffy, but this video, that's who it's for. Let's get into the top 3 best ways to improve in Valorant. Now, I'm not going to be doing these in any particular order, but they are all important. So first, we're just going to start off with mechanics. If you don't know what mechanics are, that is basically your aim, your movement, and your ability usage. Those are all your mechanics. Using mechanics is a big part of Valorant. If you've ever fought against a Smurf in any low rank, usually they're just taking aim duels and using their mechanics to out-aim everybody, and that is why they are just crushing and getting insane amounts of kills. So, if you want to do that in your ranked games, you're going to have to work on a couple things. Of course, your aim, your movement, and your utility usage. Now, your utility usage is it's more dependent on your agent, so I'm not going to go as much in depth on that, but I'm going to be talking about ways that you can kind of improve your aim and movement. So for aim, nothing is going to be just playing, but of course not everybody has time to just play for 45 minutes just to work on their aim every day. So if you are trying to improve your aim and don't want to play a full game or play a comp game to try and warm up your aim, I would suggest outside aim trainers like Aim Labs or Kovacs. These are helpful just with your aim. These do not involve movement at all, so just keep that in mind. This is just your raw aim and your tracking and whatnot. The range in Valorant is also very useful. I actually use the range as opposed to outside aim trainers. I use strafe bots, eliminate 100 to kind of warm up, and I'll do some other things. I can make another video specifically on my warm up that I do before my ranked games, but I'm not going to go too in depth on that. Now, the second thing, this kind of incorporates your in-game aim and your in-game movement, and that is death matches. Now, if you're anything like me, you absolutely hate death matches, and I do not blame you. Death matches are annoying, they're not fun, and most of the time they're just really unlucky because of how bad the spawn system works and how Valorant is not specifically suited for death matches. But it is an undisputable fact that death matches are one of the best ways to get better at the game. So if you are really struggling with your mechanics, grind death matches. There are some ways to make this more enjoyable, so turn off your audio, blast music, just swing things, don't get angry. Do focus on your movement though. Peak angles with only A and D. This will help you stop faster instead of having that weird spray where sometimes you hit W and your bullets all over the place. This will help you with that. So only peek with A and D, kind of consciously be aware of those things. Only go for bursts and taps. Don't just go around spraying like you normally would in a game. The whole point of this is to train and improve. So be aware, tap and strafe, only peek with A and D in these DMs. Third and final piece of advice for mechanics is experience. Like I said in the beginning, nothing is going to be just playing. So after you've done your warm-up, just play a couple comp games out, see how you're feeling, see what you're doing wrong, and then the next time you go to play your DMs or after you warmed up, focus on those specific things. Number 2, game sense. You've probably heard this word thrown around a lot, so I'm just going to briefly give you a definition as to what it is. So your game sense is knowing when to rotate, mid-rounding, knowing when to play for picks, knowing when to go fast, knowing when to use your utility, and kind of reading the enemy opponent is the best way I can kind of describe it. Game sense applies to you personally and your IGLing ability, so if you have a really good game sense, you're going to make a good IGL. Number 1 tip to improve your game sense, VOD reviewing. If you don't know what VOD reviewing is, it's simply recording your gameplay and watching it back. I do plan on making an in-depth VOD review guide because I hear a lot of people talking about VOD reviewing and they don't really go in-depth as to showing people what it is. I can't do that in this video, but I will most likely be making a follow-up on it soon. Number 2, watch people that are better than you. Always watch pro players, watch VCT, watch players that are better than you. But this is important. Take those pro matches with a grain of salt. Now, this is different from watching a pro player play ranked, because when in a pro match, they have their entire team is coordinating, their entire team is talking, they've been practicing with this team, they have team chemistry. In ranked, you are almost never going to get that. So just kind of focus on individual players that play the same role as you and kind of try and learn from them. Number 3, this one's really important. This is kind of a baseline. Always look at the enemy economy and their tendencies. So, for example, let's say you're playing Bind. You're on attack side, and there's a Reyna that keeps peeking showers every round. And she keeps pushing you guys short and getting a flank. And instead of just fighting showers or calling out to your team that, hey, Reyna's going to fight showers every round she has for the last 8 rounds, let's fight her there, end it, or hold for her push, you don't say anything about it, right? You just keep playing, you keep getting destroyed by the same thing, and then your entire team is just like, well, what's happening, guys? That's what's happening, okay? So look for tendencies, try to learn their tendencies, and that will help you read them better and play late rounds better. Same thing with their economy. Hold tab, look at their econ, look at how much money they have for the next round, and look at how close they are to all their ults. Seeing how close they are to ults or what ults they already have can help you prepare for a site execute. It can give you info that makes you maybe want to play off-site, maybe more on-site, depending on what ults they have. And yeah, just give that information to your team, make sure you're relaying it, and make sure everybody knows what the plan is. Now last, but certainly not least, something I mention in almost all of my videos, your mental. Your mental is about 50% of the game, especially when it comes to Valorant, and having a good mental is very important. You see a lot of people in lower ranks with very fragile mentals that tilt really quickly, and it's just really unhealthy, and at the end of the day, you're going to win more games if you have a good mental. So, some ways you can improve your mental is do something you enjoy in between rounds, especially after a really tilting loss or a round you feel like should have gone your way, but it didn't. Do something you enjoy. So if you do not like listening to music while you play, in between rounds, that 30 seconds, play music. Play music, jump around, do something you enjoy. Another thing you could do to help you improve your mental is duo/trio queue. Not solo queuing is honestly just a great idea. I personally only solo queue because I cannot find a duo or trio queue. But if you guys are really desperate to find a duo or trio queue, there are some discords I'm sure you could find out there that are specifically set to help you find duos and trios. This helps with your mental because you have other people to talk to without flaming your teammates in-game. You can either vent to them or you can just communicate with them better because most of the time you're either already in a party or you're just in a discord. Another thing you can do is get up and walk around, and don't be afraid to take breaks in between games. Get up and walk around. This helps, honestly, sometimes if you just kind of need to reset. Let's say you're feeling a little tired, your arm's not working real well, maybe it's late, maybe this is your last game before you're getting off, but you don't want to just troll and lose. Get up, walk around, do some jumping jacks, do something to get the blood flowing again, keep yourself awake, and don't be afraid to take breaks in between games. If you have a really bad game and you're just not feeling it, take a break. If you get back on, make sure you redo your warm-up and all that stuff. I think that's everything I wanted to cover in this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for sticking around to the very end. I will see you guys all in the next one.